as you just make yourself comfortable and begin to relax. It's remarkable how something as simple as noticing the hush of the room or the way your body settles into the seat can signal a kind of subtle invitation just to relax. And just for a moment, you can allow yourself to set aside other concerns, almost as if letting the gentle evening rain blur the world outside the window. And it's reassuring to remember that it's safe to pause, especially when all you're being asked to do is listen and relax, becoming calm and at peace here in a space where you can become more comfortable with your own experience as it gently unfolds. And you know, there's something satisfying about a window streaked with raindrops, each one unique, some racing down the glass, others pausing, mingling with others, forming tiny rivers. And you might notice how your breath finds its own rhythm. And it can be easy to imagine those droplets softening the view, gently shaping new patterns. And you might even begin to notice how a part of you naturally follows this softening, letting each thought, sensation, or subtle tension settle like rainwater, pooling calmly together, inviting a deeper, more curious immersion as sensations rise and fall. And in the quiet space behind the window, the world shifts. Details muted by rain, intimacy heightened by nearness. And you might recall a time perhaps when being inside, in a cozy corner wrapped in warmth while the weather moved outside, made it easier to feel safe, to feel connected. Just imagine that window frames not only the outer world, but also the patterns of anticipation and self-evaluation that sometimes gather uninvited before moments of vulnerability. And the more we care, the more those old stories about performance try to take center stage, as if being close requires a flawless script rather than a genuine presence. And you know, the rain never judges its own patterns. Each drop is simply permitted to fall, knowing that you can be present without needing to control every detail. And sometimes people discover, when they just allow themselves to experience, how enjoyment can emerge when expectations drift into the background, leaving room for curiosity and authentic connection. And just as that window, softened by rain, blurs what lies beyond, so too can the haze of old doubts lose their sharp edges, making space for something new, something more alive, something gentle. And there's a quiet part of you, quietly listening, that's always intended to create connection, to care, to give, to share a real, felt experience. And the anxious mind sometimes mistakes caring for pressure, thinking, I must do this right, where in truth, the intention is always to connect and be accepted. And what a surprise it is then to discover that looking more closely as through a rain-washed window, that the more you allow acceptance of yourself just as you are, the more that connection flourishes. Even when things are imperfect, spontaneous, and unexpected. And it's funny how, like those droplets pooling together, intimacy grows deepest, not from trying harder, but from letting yourself simply be, letting natural rhythms and honest responses unfold. And maybe you can recall or imagine a time where laughter rose unexpectedly, relief washed through you, and the pressure simply melted away. And remember, the story of intimacy is really two people sharing a rainy afternoon, freed from their usual plans by the weather, finding joy not in perfection, but in the simple act of being together, unhurried, unconcerned, connected. And that's a reality often forgotten. Real closeness grows in ease, and ease grows in acceptance, not from performance, but from presence. And as you take another deep breath, your mind can start to weave this understanding into the background of future moments, perhaps even a little like the way raindrops nourish what grows unseen beneath the earth. The intention to please, to show up fully, is already enough. Anxiety's story can become a background noise, replaced by curiosity about what new shades of intimacy are ready to surprise you. Each unique experience, an unrepeatable moment of its own. And as the rain outside begins to pass, the clouds thinning and the sky brightening, you might sense a refreshing clarity, as if you can return to your own life feeling lighter, open to new possibilities. There's no need to strive for perfection. Even the most vibrant moments are sometimes a little unscripted. And now you can allow your attention to drift back to the room around you, to the familiar support beneath you, to the simple awareness of your feet, your fingers, and the softness of your breath. With every breath, you can return back to the here and now, noticing the quiet return of the outside sounds, of the light of ordinary life filtering in, and yet something has subtly changed within. And any lingering doubt can just fade like mist dissolving as you bring back with you what's soothing and leave behind what's no longer needed. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes, noticing the quality of this moment has changed now and forever. And in the coming days, as you connect with yourself or someone special, you may notice a gentle confidence where there was once concern and ease that emerges naturally when you allow yourself to be present and real. Small moments of relaxation, laughter, or simple closeness can remind you that it's enough to experience and to enjoy what is, with acceptance, inviting deeper connection. Thank you for being willing to take this time for yourself. And until next time, goodbye and good mental health.